Welcome to the Pop Docs channel. I am Joseph, one half of the Pop Docs, and I am joined in this video by the other half of the Pop Docs, my sister Deni. Deni, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. We're about to talk about one of my favorite things on this planet. San Diego Comic-Con. Woo!
Hang on. I gotta get better at doing this.
Amazing.
Yeah. Then you had the honor, ability, opportunity, joy, whatever word you want to use, throw in there. Go ahead and do so here in a few moments to actually attend this year's Comic-Con. And so to get this video started, I do want to throw it to you to give us your own impressions, your story, as it were, of your trip out to Comic-Con this year. But before doing so, just kind of give a roadmap to viewers. Ultimately, what we're going to do is allow Deni to tell us her own experiences there this year at Comic-Con. But ultimately, in this video, we want to show off swag. And so both of us are going to show off some Comic-Con swag. Mine will be from Comic-Cons past, because I did not get to go this year to this year's Comic-Con. Deni, you are going to show us swag from this year's Comic-Con, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All the exclusives.
Ooh, exclusivity. Only here on Pop Docs and any other channel from those that attended and were able to do exclusives. Anyway, the way we're going to split that up and do that, we're going to show off stuff we've gotten in the exhibition hall, or is it the exhibition hall, exhibits hall?
Exhibitor hall, whatever.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Exhibitor hall? Mm-hmm. Then we'll have a segment on
off-sites.
Off-site. I was thinking activations.
Off-sites is what we call. Well, it's like off-site activations. It's, yeah.
And then a whole segment on Funko. And we'll talk a little bit about the Funko Fundays Party, because we have both had experience at Funko Fundays. But before we get into all of those juicy details and cool pieces of swag, Deni, tell us, what did you think of Comic-Con this year? It's a fairly unique one, it sounds like, given everything going on in Hollywood with the different strikes. So how was it? What was the experience like?
Yeah, so the past two San Diego Comic-Cons have both been unique in nature for very different reasons. So last year, obviously, they were coming back from the pandemic, so you saw a lot of like COVID regulations. You had to check in, get a wristband, you had to wear masks. So you were dealing with that still last year, as well as possibly just lack of, big studios or brand presence, just because they were recovering from the pandemic. They weren't sure what they were committed to, because, planning for these kinds of conventions are basically a year plus budget. Usually they probably spend thousands and thousands, if not, $1 million, just to do some of these kind of, activations and immersive experiences, giant promotional panels with talent and stuff. So last year was a whole situation. Fast forward to this year, and of course, as we're coming up on it, the Writers Guild goes on strike, which can potentially, obviously, affect some of the big panels that they're having, because writers or showrunners may not attend to stand with the strike. But as we were getting closer, rumors of the Screen Actor Guild were going to go on strike as well. And so people were starting to question whether, the big Hall H's would happen or other giant big panels, because some studios were planning some big things, like Wheel of Time was going to have a panel there and announce some stuff. But, so there was a lot of questions about what that impact could look like. And then I think it was a week or a little bit more before the actual convention took place, SAG went on strike, rightfully so. And they just started canceling panels left and right. All the Hall H got canceled. You saw some, I guess you could say, smaller panels get bumped up to Hall H. Just tons of, including Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time got canceled. I know, it was so disappointing, because I was actually going to, take the time to stand in line and go to that one, and it got canceled. So it was a little heartbreaking. You definitely saw that effect on the con. You saw, and you really felt it in terms of the crowds, especially in the exhibitor hall. It was jam-packed, like wall to wall, literally cannot move anywhere. Like usually there's like little pockets where you can kind of breathe and walk around. There didn't seem to be any of that. And I was like, I really hope they're within like fire regulations because damn, it feels like there's nowhere to move. So I felt like you felt the impact on that. That said, even though they didn't have all those big, panels like Hall H, there were still plenty of studio presence. Like, there was the giant... Paramount Plus came out and just kind of...
Oh, really?
Owned it. Like, they had so many different things that they were doing, as well. Hulu had some stuff they were doing a lot of. So you still got a lot of, like, off-site stuff. You got the usual FX off-site. Paramount Plus had a bunch of, building wraps, like the Yellow Jackets one, which I got super excited when I saw it, and I was like, yeah, look, oh, Yellow Jackets takeover at Hard Rock. I thought that was really cool.
But you told me you didn't actually go in, order anything, enjoy
I didn't go to the restaurant.
Cannibalistic, ambiance.
I did not go to the restaurant. Just took a picture.
Unbelievable.
I know, sorry. But I went to the Paramount Plus Lodge, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But, so you still got a lot of cool offsites. Still a lot of, like, nighttime events / after parties. Still got a lot of those. Fandom returned again, so we got, people got to go to that, which sounded like it was really fun. You just saw a lot of cool... You still saw the con there. And the exhibitor hall was amazing. I thought it was great. They had a lot of great booths. And so, yeah, overall, enjoyable. I had a great time. It felt like San Diego Comic-Con, just minus Hall H, basically. And some of those bigger, like studio panels and stuff. So it was really, really fun. Got lots of cool stuff, which I know we're going to talk through. But, yeah, I had a great time.
If you had to rank your Comic-Con experiences, is this up there? Is it kind of middling? What do you think? As a compared to previous cons, how many roughly, or maybe the actual number, how many Comic Cons have you been to? I think I've been to 3 now, I believe. Yeah. I believe it's around 3 for myself.
Okay. I think, was the first year that we went 2014? I think so.
I couldn't tell you.
2014?
One
of those. I basically have been going every single year. I'm pretty sure it's 2014. Since 2014. Except for minus 2 years. 1 year was 2016 because we were saving up to go to New Zealand instead.
We went to Hobbiton instead.
Went to Hobbiton. we were nerdy somewhere else in the world that year. And then
which is right over your shoulder there, I think. Isn't it the map from the Hobbiton gift shop there?
Yep, sure is.
Got swag from all these different trips.
And then the second year was obviously 2019 when I had my baby. But only 2 years I missed. So
within that time, how does this
say like 5?
How does this rank up there with those other previous years? Or do you not really consider it any kind of ranking that's basically been the same experience, which is a good experience each time?
I mean, that first year will never be beat because it's the first time you experience it. I think it's just incredible. And that's when we did like all kinds of things. We did Funko Fundays for the first day together. Yeah. You came along, so it was even more like special. And then, just experiencing it for the first time and doing everything. I just thought it was the first time can never be beat, in my opinion. But I would say last year was probably my least favorite year if I had to rank, just because it was so funky and weird.
You mean, so when we say last year, not this past...
Not
a few weeks ago.
Like,
literally last year. Okay.
2022 was probably my least favorite year. Outside of that, they all kind of feel the same, in my opinion. I don't know. They all felt the same.
Before we get into the swag, last question is, do you think the crowds are becoming a problem for Comic-Con? That it's, at some point, potentially going to be a deterrent for people, given that you can barely move in the exhibitors hall?
Well, to my knowledge, it caps at 135,000. Like, in terms of, like, the convention center itself. And that's why they only sell that many tickets. In terms of, like, crowds in total, if the actual panels could have taken place, I mean, Hall H takes a few thousand to begin with out of that scenario, so that's not too bad. And then... everything else, I feel like it disperses well enough as long as there's enough content to attract people to things. So in my opinion, it's not that bad, but it's just kind of how you have to look at it. There's other events.
It's a sunk cost. It's built into it. It's something you have to accept.
It's just something you have to accept. It is what it is. It's just how many people draw. I mean, there's other events, like music festivals, Coachella and stuff that draw that many people, and so it's just kind of what you vibe with. This year the only downside was because you didn't have those studio panels, you felt the crowds a little bit more, at least in my opinion, within the actual convention center space. Outside and stuff, it felt like it usually did. It didn't feel any different.
So it hasn't detracted from your experience, it sounds like.
Not me.
But, that's cool. Well, with that, and without much further ado, let's get into the swag. So, first category of swag, Exhibitors Hall swag, Exhibition Hall swag, E-Hall swag, whatever we want to call it. I'll lead off each segment because mine is from years past, and it's a much smaller pile. I don't have as much swag from years past. But for my little pile that I wanted to show off, started with a Daredevil CD. I think is this a CD?
It's a vinyl. It's a mini vinyl.
A mini vinyl. So what's old is new again. Loved this version of Daredevil. Loved all the characters. Loved all the actors. Loved the atmosphere, the stories, and that theme song is one of the best. I think it's one of the best theme songs out there. And so it wasn't very expensive to get this little album here, and so grabbed that. Looking forward to seeing what Disney does with Daredevil. Hopefully they can, resurrect what they did to Kingpin and Hawkeye, because I thought that was a travesty. But moving on, another one of my favorite fandoms and franchises, Star Wars. I got this cool Lando magazine. Lando's one of my favorite characters. I even love Lando in The Rise of Skywalker, and I didn't like anything in The Rise of Skywalker. So I thought this was cool to have this Comic-Con. This is from a 2015 version of Lando. I actually really liked this comic. I read, I think it was just a kind of a one-shot comic, I believe. But that was fun, really interesting. Like I said, love Lando. Loved him in Solo. I think Solo is an underrated Star Wars movie. And I love Donald Glover's portrayal of Lando.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And I had heard, I don't know, did you hear? Apparently, Donald Glover's working on a script for a Lando television show.
Ooh, I'd watch that.
I would absolutely watch that. So hopefully that comes to pass. But sticking,
we can only hope.
We can only hope. Please be better than Book of Boba Fett. That's like that's where things start with me. That is the lowest bar you can have for Star Wars shows or movies for that matter. Book of Boba Fett I think is like the worst thing that they put out there. Yeah, I can't think of.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think Rise of Skywalker is better than Book of Boba Fett. And as I just said, I didn't like anything in Rise of Skywalker. So, but sticking with Star Wars, this beauty here, Rogue One. Rogue One, actually one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I think it's an underrated Star Wars movie. Signed by Michael Giacchino, one of my favorite composers out there working, did the music for Lost. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite soundtracks. All of the music he did for Lost is just absolutely amazing. And actually, many people said, his music actually is a character in the show. That it's so important to the whole atmosphere, the whole themes, and what Lost is. And so he did the music, obviously, for Rogue One. And he was at Comic-Con. I forget which year this is. You might remember, Deni, because you actually got this for me. I had to leave early.
I did.
Yeah, and so you stood in line for me, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Also a great shot on the back of the album of Darth Vader.
That's pretty sweet.
So this is one of my treasured pieces of swag from Comic-Con.
Yeah, I took a photo with him as visual proof that I got the actual autograph. And it was too funny. I was like, can I take a picture with you? Because I need proof that you signed it. And he cracked up. He thought that was funny.
You weren't just standing off to the side watching him and tracing, like, I can pull this off. I can pull this off. So it was the picture of authenticity, the certificate of authenticity. Yeah. I was just trying to get that, like, Photoshop myself in. And I can put that, like, in a frame it with this picture where it look ridiculously out of place. So anyway, the last piece of swag I want to show off, I'm also very happy and proud of this piece.
Battletoads!
Battletoads!
That is awesome.
Yeah! Oh my gosh. We played the crap out of this game. And just a few weeks ago, I saw that Rob actually has got
He sure
like
does.
old school Battletoads to play.
Yeah.
And you were actually playing it. And it looked
I was
amazing.
playing it with my daughter Lily. Yeah, we were playing
Yeah.
it together. She thought it was hilarious.
I don't know if you can hear this, but let's see if... Oh, it's not working anymore. I think the battery
Oh
broke.
no! It's
But you're supposed to be able to,
ran out.
yeah, you're
It
supposed to be able to
probably
open this, and there's supposed to be music that plays when you open it. But this is the interior
cool.
of it. Awesome! I friggin' love this. It's just so
is
cool.
cool.
And look at
Another thing I waited in line for, if I
this.
recall.
Look at this thing. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's cool. That's a
Well,
cool
did you get this for me too? Did you wait in line for
I
this?
did. I waited in line for
Oh, my
that
gosh.
and got you the Battletoads too.
So these are partially your swag too. So this,
Appreciate my sacrifice.
I do, especially the Michael
time.
Giacchino autograph. That thing is awesome. I freaking love that. But anyway, Denny, I'll turn it over to you. What you got? What'd you get this year in the exhibitors hall?
So the Exhibitors Hall, like I said, was really cool, and there were obviously some hero booths, in my opinion, or also some fan favorites. But one of my favorite booths that was doing some really fun, cool things was actually Lego, and they were hitting this nostalgia. Like, the theme of this convention was nostalgia, in my opinion, because so many things just reminisced of the past. And one of them was Lego, which was
Oh my gosh.
did a whole brickbuster, adorable, kind of fun activations and stuff like they were doing. So the first preview night, they were giving out these little brickbuster cards that were reminiscent of your Blockbuster membership cards, which I just died because my first job ever was at a Blockbuster, and so I get super all in the feels with anything that involves Blockbuster. So I thought that was really cute. And throughout the con, they were doing these giveaways where they hid old, Brickbuster VHS cassette tapes.
Oh,
And,
nice.
the containers of them, the old Blockbuster cases, and they hid them around the convention and also outside of the convention. And if you found them and you turned them in at the booth, they gave you little swag prizes,
Cool.
which I thought was super cute.
Well, as an aside, you've recently got that cool Blockbuster game. So I want to say board
Yes.
game, but it's not a board game.
Trivia
A
game
physical
kind of
yeah,
thing.
trivia game.
Kind of, yeah.
That thing is so much fun. I
my God,
love
so
that
good.
game.
So
And that
that's a
didn't
fun
that come in a facsimile or a little model of the Blockbuster cases
little
too?
sign,
If I remember
the
right.
sign, yeah, it came in
Oh, the sign.
Yeah, it came in the case, but then they also had the little sign that was outside of Blockbusters. Oh, it's so good.
It's great.
It's such a fun game. It's a fun game. Another winning booth to me, which again hits on the nostalgia, which we talked about in past podcasts, was Neopets.
Oh God, there it is. There it is.
So
The
I had
omelets.
the omelets. The omelets.
Are the
And
omelets
so-
on the cover? Is there an omelet on the cover?
Yes.
Oh, my-
there's
are those
an
mushrooms
omelet
in it?
there,
Oh, good.
Mushrooms, all kinds of different omelets,
Yikes.
of course, because you never knew what kind of slice you were going to get when you signed in that day and tried to snap a slice.
I would send back the mushroom one if those was on offer.
But so that was the one booth that I wanted to visit on preview night, because obviously if you've been to San Diego Comic-Con, you know that preview night is the night that you should try to get any and all the exclusives that you want, because after that, it's basically a free-for-all if you get a lottery or just luck of trying to get what you get before they run out. The rest
Is
of the days.
preview night a smaller pool of people, or is it like the 135? What
Smaller
it is
pool
smaller?
of people. They only sell a certain number of tickets. They don't sell
Oh,
those,
okay.
and they don't sell them individually. They have to be sold as part of the 4-day pass. So naturally, you get less people, which is a beautiful thing. But,
Oh, assuming you can actually get the 4-day pass.
assuming you get the 4-day pass, but also if you know the right people, which we do, we get in every single year. So,
Wow.
anyways,
Wow, okay.
But yes, this was one of my favorites. See the giant omelet, Joe.
There it is.
Giant omelet.
There it
This
is.
was one of my favorite things that I've gotten this entire con. It's a cookbook from Neopets, and it was just wow. It took me back to the time of dial-up internet. Just logging into PC.
Is that a time that you want to remember fondly? Oh
In the
no,
past-
someone's calling. No.
I mean, it was, it was a battleground, man. You just fought to survive that dial-up. But yeah,
We were forged in the dial-up era.
so that was really fun to see because apparently it's going through a huge revival. They're like fixing all the PC
Neopets or
elements.
dial-up?
Neopets, not so much dial-up.
Let's make the
Neopets.
comeback.
Yeah, and I think they're making like a TV show or something. I don't know, but it's coming. A little revival for Neopets, which was adorable.
So, one, can you actually make an omelet?
I can make an omelet.
Okay.
I can
Two,
make an omelet.
have you made any of the omelets from that book yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
It's on the list though.
You're
there's
going to
all-
make an omelet.
But there's all kinds of great things in here to make. Oh my gosh.
The whole point is, all I hear about Neopets is omelets. Or our omelets.
Food. Yes, the omelets. There's a chocolate omelet in here that I'm like really interested in making.
Not my jam.
Oh my gosh, so good. Anyways, so yeah, that went
We
down.
lost looking, drooling over the omelets.
Let's not go down that path because I'll just get lost.
Okay.
Other things, I mean,
What's the creature behind you? The giant cat. Is that from the exhibitor's hall, or is that something coming
that's
up?
from the exhibitor hall. No, that's it. This is Sumo Cat. That's Sumo Cat. Every year I've eyed him. He's at the.
He's been there multiple years. I do not
Yeah.
remember this sumo cat.
He's from an artist booth, and I'm gonna butcher the name. John Lotter, Loter. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he does some recognizable art in different like shows and movies. But yeah, he always stood out, and I was always like, I'm gonna get him, and then I never did. And then this year I committed, and I got him, and he's so cute. His sumo cat.
I like him. No, he's definitely he catches the eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the color.
Every time I walk by, I'd be like, oh, I want to get him so badly. But then I never.
Bright orange with like neon eyes.
And I have a T-shirt of him now too. I'll stick along the lines of artists though.
Okay.
And another one, which again I'm going to butcher the name because I'm terrible at this. Road Monachito. Road Monachito. Anyways, he does a lot of Halloween cardboard art, which is really cute. And so I got this little piece because it's super cute little pen.
Gotta get frames
Tell
still.
stories, yeah. So I got a couple of things from his booth this year, but he also does books, which are really really cute.
Do these artists have like Instagrams or something?
I'm sure they do.
Sure. We'll try and find them and link them then in the description to give them props and direct people toward their work if they're interested.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And then I got, every year there's a bunch of publishers there, book publishers. And so Rob was kind enough, because he knows I like to get these. They do giveaways, the different publishers, and so I got a new Cassandra Clark book that's coming out, Swordcatcher, this preview edition. But I thought that...
Is that like a leather bound book?
No, it's just it's a
That was a
paperback.
paper? Oh, it's
It's
got
a
a
paperback,
great looking
and
cover.
It's a preview book.
Oh, okay.
So they always disclaim that it's a preview book. There could still be edits to it. But I thought the cover art was super cool.
It looks gorgeous. No, it's a great looking book.
Right? I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool for like a preview book. I was like, damn, that looks nice.
What's it about? Do you
So
get any
it's
sense of it?
It's a fantasy novel, and I've never actually read any of her stuff, but I have heard good things about Cassandra Clare. Claire. Sorry, I keep saying Claire. Cassandra Clare. But it's a fantasy novel, all new fantasy world.
Oh,
Forbidden
okay.
love, dangerous
Oh.
magic,
Oh.
a secret that could break the kingdom.
Of course.
And then I'm going to, once again, butcher this name. Welcome to Castellane?
Sure.
Castellan?
I'm assuming that's the new
That's the
magical
world.
world. That's
That's
the new
the
fantasy world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Can you tell?
It's good, though.
Are there dragons?
I don't think so.
Um,
From magic, for sure, I think. But no,
so this is not one of your sexy dragon books. It sounds like.
not a sexy dragon. No.
By the way,
But
for viewers
still forbidden love.
interested in hearing about the sexy dragon books, check out our podcast episode where we go through our favorite fantasy creatures, because dragons are up there.
And I talk about sexy dragons.
And sexy dragon books, yeah. There you go.
And then the last thing from the exhibitor, well, no, two things, sorry, I forgot. I got lottery for UCC distributing, which, talk about a fire hazard. That was a fire hazard waiting to happen.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness gracious! So spilling all the tea here.
But Rob sacrificed himself and managed to get in line amongst the crowds and chaos. And so I was able to get what I wanted, which was this cool thing. It's a Disney Doorables, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
But the coolest part about it is, so they're like these little characters, right? The coolest thing about it is that it is blacklight, so it actually lights up. Check that out.
Oh my gosh, that is cool.
Isn't that
wow.
cool?
Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
You were so ready for Halloween. Oh my god.
I love Halloween, and I love Nightmare Before Christmas, so when I saw that, I was like, I'm getting that. So that was my big purchase from there. I got a few other little things.
Massive.
But then the last thing from the exhibitor hall is, of course, Funko, or Funkoville, which is now their giant convention.
It's a whole village now.
Booth. Yeah, it's like a whole setup, which is actually very cool and makes sense. But the one thing that I wanted, other than Rob getting his, plethora of pops that he wanted, was I wanted this backpack right here. This is the one thing. And I was like, Rob, happy wife, happy life. Get me this backpack no matter what you have to do in life to get it. Get it! And so he did. And so it's the San Diego Comic-Con mascot toucan, and it's actually amazing. It's a loungefly. Amazing detail because it's like embroidered patch of the logo, and then you got like all these really cool little details, like back here, and then inside, just like the pattern inside is really cool. You got like this cool little pattern going in there with the toucan.
Did they name the toucan?
The wings flap. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think so.
All right.
I could be wrong, but that's the one thing that I wanted from the Funko booth, and I got it.
You're like, Comic-Con! Comic-Con! Is that, I don't know if that's what toucans sound like, but that's generic bird sound. Comic-Con!
So that's the exhibitor hall in a nutshell. There were a lot of other cool things to see, but that's kind of, those were the heroes to me.
I can't help but miss, though, you did not get the gremlin.
I did not. Okay, look. The line for, I believe that was NECA, or NECA,
that sounds right.
However you pronounce it, but was insane every single year. I mean, every single day. And it was just too long. I couldn't do it.
That would be a great Halloween thing to have, would be that gremlin. That gremlin was really cool.
That gremlin.
That gremlin was really cool.
I did see, like, the display of it, and the detail is quite phenomenal.
I'm going to try and pull it up so people watching, if they haven't seen, this is from Gremlins 2. Yeah, it looked freaking good. I wish it was the Frank Sinatra Gremlin. I would have preferred that Gremlin.
That would have been awesome.
But in essence, I did find a photo. Let me see if I can just blow this up here. Oh, okay, hang on.
I also got this Alex Party hat.
What is Alex Party, by the way? I don't actually.
He's an artist.
Oh, okay.
He does like this really creepy art, which is amazing. Creepy art, but with colors, bright colors, and it's amazing.
It's cool. I mean, it's kind of a subtle hat, which is nothing wrong with that.
It's actually corduroy. I don't know if you can see, but it's actually corduroy.
Okay, I got it. Found the gremlin. So for those watching and wondering what in the green earth, goblin green earth, gremlin green earth, I don't know what we're talking about. Here's the gremlin. And this thing I think was like 2 feet tall or something. I mean, it was like a pretty decent size doll of this gremlin. And it was also, it could change its clothes and its hands. So it had a lot of functionality. And it looked really cool. I mean, I wish it was the Frank Sinatra I keep on trying to say goblin, gremlin. Or like if they were sold as a combo, I think that'd be really cool too.
That'd be cool.
That was one of the cooler pieces of swag I thought that was on offer at Comic-Con. But anywho, so that's the exhibitors hall. You got some great looking stuff this year.
It was fun.
And you were successful, it sounds like, in getting what you wanted. So it sounds like your Comic-Con tip. Plan out ahead of time what you're looking to get so that you can target those booths in the exhibitors hall, get there early enough to get in line, and grab what you're looking for.
Yeah, they do run out every day. they'll run out of stuff because they hold items, so everyone each day has an opportunity to get the item. So they will only sell certain amounts each day if they're a vendor who does it right. So yeah, and then obviously you have to get there super early or else you're going to be waiting in line or trying to wait in line. Because obviously the convention staff, because of fire regulations, they have to have people keep moving. And so they will cap lines and they will not let people linger to try to get into the line. So you have to I call it the Comic-Con twist, because you're literally... you have to go in circle. They literally tell you, just keep circling, and then we'll get you in if we can. And you literally just have to keep walking in circles until they open the lineup, and it's literally only open for 2 or 3 people at a time. If the convention staff is super nice and they see you circling for 30 minutes or some obscene amount of time, they'll wait until you come around again. And we'll let you in if they're nice.
They're suffering their penance, just let them in.
Sometimes they're not nice, and they just don't give a crap about all these convention goers, and they're just I don't care about anybody. So
I can imagine, too, with everyone there that you were talking about earlier, sometimes for some, I got to imagine it's hard just to keep track of everybody moving around.
It's hard to keep track, and then obviously you're dealing with people who are getting pissed about not being able to get in line or complaining about I've been circling for 30 minutes, I need to get it, and you've never, you're gonna get those people. I never get that way, or at least I try not to, because I understand what these staff people have to go through, and just the thought of dealing with that, I'm I feel for you so much.
Yeah, they're trying. They're trying their best.
They're just trying to, and they have
control
to,
the crowd.
Because if the fire marshals come in and the fire marshals don't see it being, operated in the way that for safety, they can literally shut down the convention or parts of it. So they have to adhere to these safety regulations. So it's tough. It's a tough balance of just keeping people happy. It was messy.
So with that though, tip number 2, definitely check out the outside activations.
Yes.
Outside events, and I think they've only grown in number because I remember. Ever since I have gone, they've been there, but it certainly seems like they're expanding in different places, different ways, and they're often really cool. So I don't have any swag to show, but to share real quickly, it's kind of 2 stories. One is there was one year, and I forget which year, they had Blizzard was there with World of Warcraft, and they built a little faux ice cream shop, and it was the Lich King's ice cream shop. And although I can't remember if you could buy I think you could buy actual ice cream there. But basically, they had someone actually wearing all the Lich King's armor with the Frostmourne, and you could take in the throne, oh my god, I forget the name, the Frozen Throne. I kept wanting to say Iron Throne. That's not that one.
No, it's the other one.
And you can take your pictures, and in fact, part of the intro I put together for our videos has a picture of me with the Lich King at that Allen site activation, and that was really cool. But then I also remember they had. Cartoon Network had an Adult Swim theme park one year, and they had a giant meatball. What was the meatballs? Do you remember the meatballs? Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Yeah, giant. I think it was a fun house or something, or maybe a bounce house or something like that. But it was this giant meatwad, and it was really this parking lot across from the convention center. So I think they're getting more clever. They're getting more creative. I think every year with these outside events, and typically, at least back, obviously I don't know, maybe this year is different, you haven't needed to have a pass for a lot of these places. So you don't have to have a ticket. You can just go and experience the outside.
Yeah. Most of them have standby lines. Most of them do reserve time slots, but they release them ahead of time, obviously. And then they will... most of them are really good at keeping to the time slots for people who have them. But... I'm pretty sure the majority of them do have standby lines. Just get ready to wait in the sun for
bring an umbrella. Tip
Yes.
number 3: bring an umbrella if you're going to be out in the sun for hours waiting in line. Sunscreen,
something to do.
Water, stay hydrated.
Yes, entertainment.
Yeah.
Because you will be waiting for a while. But they've gone. I mean, this year I was impressed by how many were there. I didn't expect. Probably maybe some of the studios would have backed out, or streaming networks would have backed out just because. But I mean, those are things they can still operate without actors or writers and so they can still get some awareness out for the shows that are coming out. So there were some really fun ones. There was, let's see, which one do I want to start for? I'll start with, there was a whole Jurassic Park 30th anniversary.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that, yeah.
Which was really cool. It was kind of like, walking through a typical Universal kind of theme park experience. Then they had dinosaurs and photo ops and very immersive, like walking through Jurassic Park, which was really fun. And then at the end you got dino chicken nuggets, which were delicious. And a preview of some merch. So that was pretty fun. I liked it.
Obviously, they had the best one, the Yellow Jackets, where you didn't eat anything. You didn't have a frozen Jackie, which I believe was one of the drinks on the menu.
I didn't go to the restaurant. It was packed every single day.
Yeah, because it's one of the best shows on television right now.
Sure.
That you haven't seen.
One of the best, sure. One of the best shows. But also, like, one of the only restaurants that was, like, themed to a show this year. So, they did have that. But they had the Paramount Plus Lodge, which Rob and I did go to. We got tickets to that, and we went in there, and that was really, really fun. You basically got to spend an hour inside of this space they bought out where they put just a bunch of different little kind of interactive either photo ops or just little experiences that you could do for all their different upcoming shows. So there was like photo ops for like Yellow Jackets, Pet Cemetery, I think, what's the Yellowstone prequel? Is it 1920?
They have two, but the newest one right now is 1923. There's 1883, I believe, then 1923.
Okay.
But 1923 is the most recent one.
Yeah.
With Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, others.
Yep. Yeah. So they had like a little photo op for that, and then they had like SpongeBob, but then they also you got like free, what is it called? Good Burger sliders. Like,
oh my gosh, that's a blast from the past.
We got 2 drink tickets each for the bar, and so you could get a free drink. And so I got 2 hard kombucha, so they were delicious.
Wow.
And then the really fun thing that we did was actually for Star Trek, and they were doing caricatures. So my husband
goodness.
Rob and then me, we were made into Vulcans with our little tribbles.
So what if you had to pick a rank? What rank would you both be, do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think that far.
All right, how about this? Would you be in medical? Would you be in science? Would you be in engineering? Would you be the pilot? Would you be the captain? First officer?
Captain.
I think these are all positions and departments in Star Trek. I don't actually know. I don't watch Star Trek. My favorite Star Trek was Galaxy Quest.
I mean, that's the best one, for sure.
And to be honest, I'd probably be Guy Fleegman if I was going to be anybody. Completely lost, terrified, worried I can't breathe on this alien planet.
Just exclaiming and stuff like that.
I want to be Tony Shalhoub and chill, working with everyone in engineering, but I'm sure I'd just be like screaming about there not being any air, in reality.
I love Galaxy. That was so good.
Maybe, I don't know, there must be a quiz out there like which Galaxy Quest character are you that, if it does exist, we should take that quiz on one of our podcasts. Because I love Galaxy Quest.
I'd just be Sigourney Weaver's character who just repeats everything that the computer says.
I have one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm going to do it, okay?
Do it. Literally would be me. I'll just repeat everything the computer says.
That scene, and then when they come up, her and Tim Allen come up against like all of those things that are clanking and crushing for no reason. She's like, what is this? Why is this here? That movie is so good. It's so quotable. It's so good. Oh my gosh. So yeah, best Star Trek out there, in my opinion.
Very true.
All right. Derail this here.
So that was a really fun offsite. That was really cool. So that was a favorite for sure.
Any other pieces of swag from the offsite stuff that you wanted to share?
The only other thing, so there was, obviously they do a big FX offsite. We didn't do that one though. And then they had a big Hulu animation one, which actually had the coolest looking swag. It was like this animated looking kind of backpack. And then they gave these like giant pins for different animation shows that they're coming out. So that was actually really cool. We didn't wait, but the line was obscenely long. And then they had their usual like Dragon Ball Z offsite over by the Marriott. But the only other one that I stood in line for was they had a mini Only Murders in the Building offsite.
Season 3 coming soon.
Offsite, yes, where you walked up and it was kind of like find the clues within the room. You're helping them find the clues. And so you had to find like all 12, and then a vending machine would spit out a piece of swag for you, depending on how many clues you found. So I waited almost 2 hours in this line.
Wow.
I was maybe like 13th or 14th left in line till I got to do the little game. And then they said, well, we're closing it down for tonight. No. But we're giving everybody a piece of swag who's in line anyways. Nice. And
that's
I was
awesome.
Like, okay, I'll take that over having to touch a dirty screen that everybody else is touching. And so I actually got I got a beanie that says Only Murders in the Building.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Because isn't that one of the things they sell on the show? Don't they sell like a beanie?
I think
so. A sweatshirt, like a pullover.
I got so excited because I was like, that's cool.
Now, if only it can get cold enough, you can wear it down here.
Well, very true. Yeah, we live in Florida, so when will I actually wear it? I don't know.
That is awesome. I actually have not seen that piece. I mean, I've seen some of the other stuff you came back with. I don't think you showed me that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was actually cool because compared to everything else that people were getting out of the vending machine, which I think was like your typical pin, like a little pin with the logo, and then they were giving. This is kind of strange, but okay. They were giving away mascara that's apparently from like Selena Gomez's makeup line.
Oh.
Okay.
Cross promotion, I guess? I don't know.
Sure, but I'll take the beanie. So I got excited about that. I was like, that's cool. So
we'll have to do a watch party for the new season. You can wear your beanie.
Yes, new season next week, right? I think.
I don't recall. It's it's this month, I believe. Doing the wrong thing. 3. Premieres August 8th. Yeah.
Oh, next
You're
week?
absolutely right.
Next Tuesday.
And it looks like 2 episodes. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited for that. Oh, gosh, I love that show.
It's going to be so good.
Not as good as Yellow Jackets, but you know what it is right now. Mm-hmm. So, cool. Any other offsite stuff you wanted to show?
No, those were the main ones that we did.
Okay.
It was really fun, though. Good times.
You know what time it is? Funko Party time! Funko Party, Funko Party, Funko Party, Fun Days, Funko Party. Okay. So, I have only been to one Funko Fun Days with you and Rob. And you said that was the first one, right? Was it the first time they did that?
Not the first time they did it, but it was the first time we went to it. Mm-hmm.
And it was absolutely nuts. I like Funko. I have Funko Pops. I'll show one of them off here in a few moments. I'm not a rabid Funko fan, but this was such a wild experience, and I mean wild like every definition you can think of the word. I was trying to think of how to describe this, and the best I think I came up with, I put in a few minutes of thought, so it's not like I spent a whole day agonizing over this. But anyway, was the scene in Kingsman when Colin Firth's character is at the Southern church, and Samuel L. Jackson activates the chip, and it just turns into absolute mayhem. This Funko Party was like that, minus the fatalities, but
I mean, there were some injuries.
Still a lot of the violence. There were injuries. I mean, people were flying around the room, diving under tables. You had to sit. So we were at all these different tables to seat. I want to say 6 to 8 people. These circular tables, and I mean they were throwing out prototypes. They were chucking out other Funko Pop stuff, and so you slowly accumulated this little pile of Funko merch throughout the night. And if you were not careful and you left your spot and you didn't have a spotter, people would come by and swipe.
They'd steal it. Yep. Different
whatever you had there. Mm-hmm. And so I had the honor of being kind of the guardian of the merch. And I think I did a pretty good job. But it was unbelievable. The intensity people showed.
Painful.
And I think the organizers basically just lost control of it. And it's one of those things I think was kind of cool in theory. It'll be kind of like a sporting event where people will come out with the potato guns and they're shooting the shirts into the audience or whatever. And it was not that. People were far too rabid, and they were just going after everything, under tables, over chairs, over people. It was crazy. I have been told by you and Rob, who have gone to subsequent Funko Fundays. I believe you said you went to the one this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've told me it's gotten tamer than
Yes.
one time that I went. Is that true?
It is true. I think it's because we heard, and I'm sure it's probably very true, is that one year someone actually broke an ankle or a wrist or something trying to, dive and get stuff, and someone actually got seriously injured. And so after that, they switched it to this new format where they still split everybody up into 4 teams, but basically it's much more structured. So they play games throughout, kind of like what they did before, but it's very much like each team will win one of the games. And so each team wins one of the big prizes. And then if they do mini games, it's a very controlled mini environment. They don't go out and throw stuff anymore to kind of create that mob style. Although this year, kind of moving into this year, is the biggest one that they did. So they moved it from, I think it was the Grand Hyatt that they had it at in the past couple years. They moved it from an inside venue to an outdoor venue. And so they could accommodate, it was in the big stadium that's out back behind the convention center on the water. So really cool venue.
Oh,
beautiful.
nice.
It's where they have a lot of their concerts and stuff. So it's a really cool venue, but it allowed for, I think it was 4,000 or something. Or
Wow.
No, maybe not that many. Maybe 2,000.
That's still a good number of people.
It was still a lot more people to actually attend, so more people in attendance. More money for them, so yay. But the thing that kind of okay, so going directly into Funko Fundays is the few things that I have to pick bones with is that I thought it was too big, which had its issues. The food sucked, which I have major gripes with. If I'm paying almost $300 a ticket for, I expect at least some good food. And 3, there was apparently, I'm not super into the collectibles of Funkos. I just kind of go because I think it's really fun.
It was a fun experience, despite the way I described it. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was. I don't regret going.
Yeah. So I'm not a hardcore collector. My husband Rob is much more of a collector / trader than I am. But apparently there was huge issues with some of the stickers that were on the boxes being diluted. They released a couple of the same characters in the Box of Fun, that they sell online.
Oh, okay.
Some of those characters inside of that Box of Fun that they sold online had the same sticker, but with a different number on characters that were also given out during Funko Fundays. So
Scandalous.
So there's this whole uproar, which makes sense. If you're a collector and you go to Funko Fundays and you get a Captain America metallic, let's say, which is one of them that was affected, and the sticker on the box says that this is 250 pieces, so only 250, you would expect that to remain that way so that your collector value is higher. They apparently released that same metallic Captain America in the Box of Fun that you could get online, and I think that sticker said, and I could be mistaken, so don't come at me, but I know it was it was more something like 2,500 or 5,000, something like that. So automatically it dilutes the value of the one that you get at Funko Fundays. So that's the big issue. And that happened to several of them, apparently.
Interesting.
So, that was a big issue. So, big miss on Funko's part, which you're like, it's not good for them. Just from what they're known for and stuff. You're like, oh, shit, that's not good. So those were kind of the 3 big things about Funko Fundays.
But did you at least have? But you had fun though. Still, at least
I had fun. Yeah. So
separate from those 3 issues.
I had a great time. Rob sacrificed his time and his body, as I like to say, because he decided to camp overnight. So he was second in line. And so we got a table that was right up front next to the stage, which was really cool because then you could like see everybody really great as they're bringing out their celebrity guests and stuff, and you really felt like a part of the action. So that was really cool. And so the event itself was fun. It was like the other Funko Fundays. The difference was there was a lot more people. It was outdoors, so it felt a little more spread out in terms of like the photo ops and stuff that they usually set up, you know, like with the character statues and stuff. It felt a little more spread out. The box of fun that we did get was actually really cool. I love the theming. The idea of like Camp Fun Days is super cute. You know, the Funkos that we did get, like the different little characters, and yes, they're out of the box, but we preserve the boxes so we can put them in there, so don't freak out. But, like, the theming they had was really cute. Like, Freddie, he was, like, a camp counselor, and then we were the Funamuck Bears was our team.
That thing is terrifying.
But I look at it, it says, "Don't feed the bears." It's adorable. And it's flocked, so that's really cool. So we were the Funamuck Bears, and then, you know, they give a little s'mores character.
Marshmallow, yeah.
Little marshmallow. So I loved the theming of it. And there was, like, a storyline to the event. So throughout the whole thing, there's this, like, our Yetis are real, Bigfoot real. And so at the very end, of course, a Bigfoot comes out, but it turns out to be just like a fake character or whatever. And so, but then everybody got, like, these giant... Everyone got the giant Yeti Funkos, which if you look at the size of them...
Oh my gosh.
Bigger.
Yeah. What's it say? Camp something? Camp Funko? Is that what it says on the pennant?
Camp Fun Days.
Oh, Camp Fun Days. Nice.
And they gave out 4 different versions of
that's
it.
cool.
So each team got a different version, which was kind of cool. So I loved the theming of it. It was really fun. Our team actually won, so we were the champions.
Yeah. Oh, here, hang on. I got something for that.
So that was really cool to win. So the event itself was really, really fun and cool, and the celebrity guests were okay. I'll say okay. They had Fluffy, who's always fun. He's a comedian. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a huge Funko fan, and I think he's come a couple of times to them. But he's really fun because he's just like also a Funko fan, so it's kind of fun moment with him. But then they had AJ from the Backstreet Boys, which I'm pretty sure I was like one of the few people that was just vibing to the music and not really caring about like the Funko aspect. I was just like, Backstreet Boys! And he started singing at one point, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing! And then the last celebrity guest that we had was Corey Feldman.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
You look less than impressed by that.
he was a strange individual.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
So AJ from the NSYNC sounds like was the highlight.
He was
the guest.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, of course, he's a natural, stage performer, so he knows how to hype a crowd. But he was just so much. He was so fun. And he genuinely seemed excited to be there, whereas Corey Feldman...
They probably paid him. He was probably ecstatic.
It felt like kind of like, here's your paycheck, come in, like, just be a guest. And he was like... I don't know. It was
Fun Days!
It was kind of a weird feeling, yeah, because everyone was just kind of... You could tell the crowd was like, okay.
Where's JT? Where's JT?
Yeah, or something like full Backstreet Boys. I would have taken them.
The full NSYNC.
No, AJ's from Backstreet Boys.
AJ's from Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Anyways,
I'm back with Backstreet, so
90s,
there you go.
90s boy bands aren't your thing. It's fine.
AJ, now I'm completely lost. But
AJ is from Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay. The one I was thinking from NSYNC was like the smaller guy with, I think he usually had like a goatee.
Joey.
Yeah.
So there was Joey.
Not Joey Fatone.
NSYNC is Joey Fatone.
Okay.
Chris Kirkpatrick. Lance Bass.
I think Chris Kirkpatrick. I think.
And Justin Timberlake.
I'm definitely a Chris Kirkpatrick then. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was kind of like the wild kind of character, if you will.
All right. Well, everything I said about who I thought was Chris Kirkpatrick, I think still applies for Backstreet Boys. I'm sure he was happy to have a check.
I don't know. Yeah, he was exciting. I loved seeing him.
That's cool. That's good.
But yeah, so I mean, the event itself and the entertainment was pretty fun. But the pops were good. You know, we got some cool ones. We got like a ghost. Oh, here, I got the few that Rob wanted me to show off. Let's see. The cool one that I got were oh, can you see that?
Freddy. It's a Freddy Funko. Is that the
Funko.
ghost? Freddy
This
Funko?
is Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, it's a Force Ghost. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So there's
So it's not Anakin Skywalker. It's Freddy Funko's a Force
He
Ghost.
glows in the dark. Yeah, I mean they're Freddy Funko as
He's Freddy Funko cosplaying.
Mm-hmm. So this is Freddy Funko as Peacemaker.
Okay. Did you see that show?
I did not.
Did Rob see that show?
John Cena. I saw him in Suicide Squad though.
The Suicide Squad.
Sorry, excuse me. The Suicide Squad.
I will say I've not seen the show Peacemaker, but the intro is great. Have you seen the intro like on YouTube? Mm-mm. You gotta look up the intro. It's hysterical.
I'll look it up next time.
I won't say any more, but yeah.
And then also a Wolverine one, which is actually pretty cool. It's like classic Wolverine.
Let's say, yeah, in the traditional yellow costume.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw, he apparently is going to be wearing that in Deadpool 3.
I did.
Yeah. There you go.
That's pretty cool. So it was a fun event, but then lastly, just to end it on an angry note with Funko Fundays, the food.
Oh, I thought you were back with The Witcher.
No.
Grunt.
It was, this may be worse than The Witcher, was the food from Funko Fundays. It was disgusting.
Okay, well, you didn't have to eat it.
I didn't, because it was disgusting.
There you go.
It was like on the level of, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Fire Festival. Do you know what happened with Fire Festival?
I've seen one of the documentaries. There are multiple documentaries about it.
Okay. Did you see what they served as like a meal with it was like slices of bread with like sliced cheese on it? So it was slightly one step up from Fire Festival food in that they served frozen chicken sandwiches.
Ugh.
Frozen.
See, I don't know why. I don't know why Funko Fundays is serving food to begin with. It should just be a party. Like, get dinner beforehand and then go to the event. You have drinks if you want to sell drinks. That's fine, whatever. But like, I don't conceive of Funko Fundays as like sit down. And here's like a meal, and then there's a show. Like, no, that's not. That's not how I conceive of Funko Fundays or what I think it should be. So I think it's kind of insane that they're even serving food to begin with.
I don't disagree with that. I would caveat that maybe they just have like hors d'oeuvres or something like simple finger food that you can just kind of grab if you're hungry kind of thing, which is kind of what they did at the hotels. They would have like buffet lines with stuff and people would get it if they wanted to, vice versa, or just give drink tickets. I mean, if you just want to give like 2 drink tickets, I think people would be happy with that. But when you promise food in some capacity, you should deliver on it. Because people expect it, and you're paying almost $300 a ticket. You should get that value if you promise something. And so the fact that they were even serving it was disgusting. I was like, this is gross. It was so nasty.
But everything else was wonderful.
Well, they had these jalapeno potato chips, which were quite good. But other than that, I was like, this is terrible. Other than that, the show was really fun. And then, obviously the catastrophe that happened with the stickers after the fact.
The catastrophe. The world's falling. The sky's falling.
It's not a good look for them. Let's just
That's
put
true.
It that way.
Were those all the Funko swag that you had to show off?
Oh yes, the Funko. Well, those are the big things that I got from the actual event. Pops, and more pops.
Funko, it's popping. Well, to close this out, obviously I wasn't there, but some of my favorite things that I've gotten in years past at Comic-Con that's related to Funko. One, I'm a huge World of Warcraft fan, so I got this little Illidan. He's all demoned out here. This Warglaze that I never was able to get in the actual game, if I can get them on the camera. But love him. He's awesome. And an actual Funko Pop that was a Comic-Con exclusive, Vegeta, with his little thing. I forget what they're called. that can detect and
The
measure power
scanners.
levels. Scanners, yeah.
Power.
So I think this would be then the Saiyan arc? I forget what the arc was called. It was one of the first ones in DBZ after the Raditz arc.
Yeah.
He shows up with Nappa. And yes, this actually was in a box with an appropriate sticker, exclusive for Comic-Con. Not only did I take it out of box, I tossed that box in the trash.
Oh my gosh, that's
I did.
painful.
I
Because
did.
that thing, that's worth some money.
He's a boxless. I'm never selling this. Are you kidding me? I'm not selling this.
You could have at least kept the box, Joe.
Where am I going to keep? I'm not keeping that box. I'm not. Preserving air. I might need that air in a few years, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drag that thing around the United States for the sticker.
There are several collectors that just like died a little inside that you
know
got
what?
rid of the box.
And you know what? They're never getting my Vegeta. So there.
Well, they don't want it now because the
he's
value
staying
is
on my
worthless.
bookshelf. It ain't worth nothing now. And you know what? That's the way I like it. I liked Vegeta for his soul, not his worth. I think. He became good in the end, so it's okay.
In the end, yeah.
But those were the only two I really got. I like Pops. I have some Pops of other things, mainly Star Wars stuff. I have where is he? He's not in the shot, but he's hiding back here. One of my favorite Star Wars characters. Little Nea Nub. There's Nea Nub. There he is. And he's hanging on my bookshelf too. I love Nea Nub. But also, I've never really gotten into the Funko stuff. I will say, to close it out here, because it's been going on for a little while. One of the cool things you got from the Funko Fundays I went to, the Kingsman Fundays, was a little prototype of Thunder from Big Trouble in Little China, which was awesome. We obviously love Big Trouble in Little China, and it was a very cool looking prototype. Very cool looking prototype. Yeah, I assume that they had all the storms. There he is. Thunder, kill him, please, for me. And I believe, I don't know, I'm not sure if this is Comic-Con, but doesn't Rob have a Lopan?
I have a Lopan.
Pop? Oh, you have a Lopan. Isn't that glowing? It's because it's
glows
like
in the dark.
a spiritual form or whatever.
It's a spiritual, yeah.
Yeah. Love those things. Those are very cool. Those are very cool. So, a lot of fond memories, despite the food from this past year's Funko Fun Days. But,
it is what it is.
yeah. So, any kind of final thoughts you want to offer viewers, listeners about Comic-Con? Planning to go again in the future if you get the opportunity?
Every year I'm like, will we go again, or should we spend money on something else, a different trip? And then we just end up going again because we both love it so much, and it's different every single year, which I think is cool. And we just both love it, and we have a bunch of friends. Well, more so Rob, but friends that go and either work it or Rob's met through his Funko Discords or whatever. I don't know. So we end up meeting up with people we haven't seen in a year, so that's always fun. And then of course it's in beautiful San Diego, and who can complain about going to San Diego? It's gorgeous, simply gorgeous.
Well, we went to La Jolla one trip. It was amazing to go to La Jolla. Yeah. Can't recommend it highly enough, given the opportunity for people to go. So.
Yeah, so we'll probably go again. I'm excited.
We'll definitely go to MegaCon. For those that don't know, that is
yeah.
the convention that takes place here in Orlando. It's a good con.
It's growing.
I really enjoy it. Yeah. They do a good job
pretty
there.
big. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if we'll probably do a video next year when it comes back around of attending, because I'm sure we'll go to it one of the days there. So
yeah.
But for those watching, listening, thank you for joining us. Deni, thank you for giving us your experience, talking about your experience, showing off what you got in terms of swag.
Thank you for having me.
For those watching or listening, let us know in the comments below if you went, what your experience was like. If you got swag, what swag did you get? But just let us know what you think of Comic-Con, what you think of the swag we showed off here. And with that, Deni, where can they find us for those that are interested in hearing our views, our thoughts on different manifestations of pop culture, books, TV, film, conventions, obviously, and the like?
Okay, so you can find us on YouTube and anywhere you can find a podcast, I believe. But anyway, we are the Pop Docs, and you can find us under that name. And then on Twitter, we are the Pop Docs, where you can see us chatting a lot about Wheel of Time right now.
We're deep in the wheel time hole at the
Deep in
moment.
the wheel time. It's coming up.
That sounded kind of weird. I don't know if that. Maybe I'll have to cut that out. I'm not sure, but
Maybe. And then also on Instagram, at the Pop Docs Pod, you can find us. So come on, follow us.
So if you
Chat with
if you
us.
like that content, please like this video and subscribe to the channel here and check out our podcast and our other social media platforms. So with that, thank you once again, Deni. But for now and for this video, the Pop Docs Clinic is officially closed.